Alright, let's continue on to the bandit camp.
A healer? Don't suppose I could hire you to follow me around and patch me up, eh? You know what's even more satisfying than arresting a criminal? Seeing them rot.
I just didn't know I'm a healer. Just assumed that I know healing spells. Well, I am kind of... I don't know. Maybe they know I just have spells somehow. I don't think I've ever heard guards say that. Oh, we could have just went out this way. Maybe he'll done now. I still like how the city is not behind a loading screen. Reminds me of the mod that makes open cities a thing. Really good mods. This is another guard tower. What's... Is there another person to talk to in here?
Been having problems with smugglers lately. You hear anything about it, you go straight to the guard captain.
Because there was one at the other tower. I don't know, I guess it depends. Yeah, hello.
Rhea been talking herself up
Who's
to
this?
impossible heights as usual.
Talk about.
She's a brash, chest-pounding fool, that's what. Guard commander over at the Eastern Watchtower. She thinks she's better than us. I'm a veteran. I've been doing this for a long time, and Bruma hasn't fallen yet. I was here during the Great War, I'm still here now. And I'm not going anywhere. See you.
Oh, well, that's, I guess it. Maybe he's another thing with a
Don't
different
listen to her.
quest.
She's brash and bold. We're wise.
I like her more than you, so I will listen to her. Even if she's lying. That's basically how it works in real life. The likable person always gets their way. I just like her more. Where's this cave at? Is it this cave that's like right here? Weird. I guess the entrance is more... Ah, there it is. Capstone Cave. Alright, so... Ooh.
I knew I
What's
heard
up?
something.
Probably like one of the first times I actually doing combat in this series. Bandit Thug. Ooh. Too easy. Ooh, this is cool looking armor. That stupid wannabe thief, Anti-Glady, says he's made to steal the caravans out of a collection of all things. Pfft, the idiot's probably just delusional, but either way, I want at that treasure. Taking some of the boys down to the Bruma caverns where I sent Glady, and he could do us a trade. The fool thinks we're going to put in a good word for him with the cutters. We've done good deals in the past, of course, but to think we could do that for him even if he wanted to. I can't believe how stupid some thieves could be. He's entering the caverns through the trapdoor in the old fool's house, too, which just shows how much of a damn coward he is. Either way, that's why I'm out. The business meeting come back in a few days once all this is dealt with. Interesting. So, report findings. Oh, I missed the days. I was just like, you found the findings. Go this way. What is this way? Coin purse? Don't mind if I do. I like some coins. There's only one bandit in here. Kind of surprising. So much for a fight. Kind of weird that we just now discovered it. Oh, he's outside right now. Ooh, we're gonna report the findings. He's probably gonna be like, "We'll go after him. Why'd you come back to me?" I mean, that's exactly what I'd be like. Oh, the big boy. What's up?
There's a scheming thug inside my house. When are you going to do something?
There's a trap
See
door
it.
inside your house. You know that.
Yes,
I don't wanna
come
march
to
in
hear
there
of an
in
old
case they're
man's
planning an
advent.
ambush.
You bet I
Just wait
would.
a few minutes.
But
see if the thief
I'm sorry
decides
if
to
this
try
comes
his luck
across the
leaving
wrong
the
way,
building
traveler, but,
before we do anything
well,
rash.
I'm poor. I'm no good
Oh,
for
you're
jobs
back.
anymore,
Oh, well, we
and
need to
people
talk.
aren't going to pay
As
you
can
for
see,
just
there's another
existing.
problem to deal with.
So, tell you what, you give me a couple of septims, and I'll regale you with some stories. Sound like a fair trade, stranger? Thanks, stranger. Rare to see such a generous sort here in Bruma. It was a bright, sunny Turdus and Whiterun Hold. I was hanging around Dragon's Reach, hoping to meet a rich noble lady and strike up a conversation. What can I say? I was young and naive. Imagine my surprise when out of the keep, instead of a noblewoman, comes a beautiful battle maiden, covered head to toe in beautifully crafted steel. She carried a huge steel claymore on her back, and I have no doubt that she'd have wielded it just as well, if not better, than any of the city guard. Paralyzed by panic, I remained silent, dared nothing to her, even as she was breathing in my face. She chuckled, then asked me if I was up for a challenge. Said there were some bandits in a local cave, marked it on my map, and challenged me to clear it out. Blinded by my own lust, I accepted. She handed me that glistening greatsword she carried on her back. I wasn't trained with a weapon, but I was strong. I could hold it, unlike most. She said she was impressed by that. So I took the greatsword to the cave she had described. Well, it was actually a mine of sorts. Embershard, they called it. I headed inside. Down the slope, I could just see, through the gloom, the red glowing eyes of a Dunmer. I assumed he was a bandit, but I wanted to be sure. Foolish and young, that was me. So, like a damned fool, I called out to him. "What are you doing down here?" I asked. He said nothing, but I saw his eyes narrow with anger in the dark. Then they got larger and larger, and I heard footsteps. He was coming towards me. I was done for. Then, all of a sudden, I heard a clink. The Dunmer had stepped on a pressure plate. And just like that, a whole pile of boulders came crashing down from the rafters and crushed him under them. That was one bandit dealt with. His screams as he died, and the sound of the rocks falling, attracted the attention of the rest of the bandits in the mine. I heard who I can only assume was their leader shout, in his typically guttural orcish voice, "Seems like we've got company, boys. Weapons out, eyes peeled. Let's go." I hid in the darkness, once again paralyzed by fear and doubt. Then an idea struck me. What if I made a trap of my own? I took the Battle Maiden's longsword and put it up in the rafters where the boulders were. I rearmed the pressure plate to the best of my abilities. Just as I was finished, the orc rounded the corner, as did a band of other brigands. One of them held a torch and waved it around to illuminate the whole entranceway. Soon enough, they saw me. That was it. My big moment. My life or my death. The orc saw the boulders on the ground. I can only assume he took it as a sign that the trap had already been triggered and was safe to stand on. And so he stood on the plate. That was his big mistake. The greatsword came careening down from the rafters with a force the likes of which I'd never seen before. By the blessings of Stendar, it impaled him straight through the gut. He bled what looked like lakes full of blood, and no sooner had I blinked than he died. The rest of the bandits very close behind him tripped over his flailing feet as he fell. They went diving headfirst into the rocks that lay on the ground, and the blow on the head ended them too. It was then that the door opened behind me. My heart damn near stopped. The bandits wanted their retribution, I thought. My life's reached its end.
I am loving this story
It was
for some reason.
Battle Maiden. She had realized I might have taken her joke seriously, and so she came to try to warn me before it was too late. She saw them all there, lying dead, including the orc who had the greatsword still sticking out of him. Her eyes widened in shock. Let's just say I was economical with the truth when explaining what happened during the encounter. It was then she told me she was one of the companions, an order of warriors based out of Whiterun. She said I had what it takes to be one of them, and so I joined up the next day. And that's the story of how a few happy accidents got me into a life of adventuring, I suppose. Funny the way the world works.
Alright, we can come back and talk to him some later.
Next time.
This guy's... I don't know what mod makes him so big.
So now old Bartram's got a thug inside his house, apparently. Just wonderful. To be honest, I'd rather be dealing with this than going on Count Carvain's wild guar chase. I should ask before I march in there and deal with the thief. Did your investigation turn up any leads about the Count's precious artifacts? You found a lead. That's no small relief. I guess that means you go find him in the caverns while I go deal with the thief in Bartram's house. That changes things. Well, at least now we can kill two birds with one stone. If it's true, that is. Under most circumstances, I'd insist on going in first. I'm captain of the guard, it's my duty to shoulder the risk. But, well, this reeks of an ambush. It makes more sense to go in prepared. Let's go.